Hey everybody, I am Jeremy.
I'm TJ.
Welcome to Archeryshack Shop Talk. This is number 86.
Yep.
We're in the car on the way back from Kiwi Bowman with a 360 camera. So I don't know how this is going to look or sound. We're trying not to crash.
Yep.
Whoa, now. And we figured this would be a good test because we're going to do something similar when we get done shooting the Total Archery Challenge in a couple weeks.
Yep.
So thank you for tuning in. We're going to drive. We're going from Clemson to back to the shop, so you'll be with us for a little while.
Yep.
But the video hopefully has already came out. I took the same 360 camera and we did a little test with it at Kiwi Bowman and shot some 3D. We took our bows that we're going to take to tack, skinny arrows, short stabilizers. It was a completely different feeling deal. It was weird.
Which is, I mean, the one I'm running is my hunting bow, but it's still, you know, normally we at Kiwi or Tab or something like that, I got the CT9 I'm shooting with my longer stabilizer, so it's just a little bit different feel today.
I finally got the Nexus 6 set up. My little Renegade arrows, a fast Eddie. Somebody saw it on something. Oh, he's
I know.
doing something over there. So it was a different. I think I'm gonna put a lens in. I didn't shoot a lens today. It's the first time I hadn't shot a 3D with a lens in a long time. I feel like my pen covered up the whole target. It was weird. I'm gonna do a little bit of changing, but we got 2 weeks, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to click the arrow on about 1 click. Hopefully it ain't too loud. Again, I don't know how the sound to work with this, but we'll give it a shot. One thing I noticed was, I don't know if 3D archery is getting smaller at this current time or what. Usually when we get done shooting at Kiwi Bowman, the whole place is packed.
Yeah.
There was just a couple cars there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on this weekend or what, but it was weird.
I'd like to see their numbers. I know when we went and turned the scorecards in, they said something like they had maybe 40 people yesterday. And if you're local to us, you know, they have what they call the Western North Carolina circuit, and Kiwi is a part of that circuit. And for it to be a Western North Carolina shoot,
you're normally looking at 100, a bunch of people.
At least 100 people, and I was surprised.
So I don't know what's going on with that. But hopefully it's not a sign that locally we've had a bunch, well, I guess you'd say locally, we had some clubs right below us in Georgia that kind of quit. And then we had down in the lower part of South Carolina, one just posted that they were done, and then last year another one lost its land and just gave it up. So South Carolina's really never had a ton of archery clubs, but now it's down to hardly nothing.
Yeah, I mean the 3 big ones that I know of is Kiwi, Tab, and Sand Dune down at Myrtle Beach. I
guess we're gonna start down the ride to North Carolina, which ain't that far, but it's probably what, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
What we'll be into, but we may have to start dealing with that. But it sucks because we've been spoiled between we had a little camera, something, I forgot, this camera's got some kind of voice activation, and I said some word and it quit. We'll have to keep an eye on this thing.
Yeah.
This newfangled technology is wild.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, we used to have probably, what, 6 clubs we could be to within an hour?
Oh yeah, it was nice, but you know, now got to travel a little bit, and I really think, in my personal opinion, and this is just my opinion, but I really think some of these clubs ought to start looking at like the Total Archery Challenge, you know, setting up
the same old,
you know,
if they got the room.
Yeah, if they got the room.
Most of them do.
Most of them do. So I know some don't, but I really think that long yardage stuff is really starting to take off. You know, your Cameron Haynes of the world, even John Dudley, I know he likes to shoot some longer distance stuff. And I really think that for 3D archery, you know, you kind of got to start thinking outside the box.
Yep.
And like like the tack, you know, we even said there ain't no way in the world the tack is going to catch on with all this. Nobody wants to shoot 100 yards, and you know, here we are. It's popular.
Even the Lancaster trailer went to the Texas or the wherever they at.
I think they're in Texas.
So it's taking off.
Yep.
What kind of questions we got?
Let's see here. Let me get them pulled up here. We've got Doug wants us to explain brace height.
Pretty much, you know, brace heights from the string to the inner portion of the grip or the burger hole, whichever way you really want to measure it. But the shorter it is, the longer the arrow is on the string, so the longer it has time to push it, so you'll get more speed. The longer it is, the less time it's on there, so it'll be slower, but once it clicks off of that string and you make a small movement, it won't affect the arrow as much, if that makes any sense. So, you know, if you had a 30-inch draw with an 8-inch brace height, you'd have, what, a 23-inch power stroke. But if you had a 6-inch brace height, you'd have a what is that, a 24, I can't add and drive.
What length there was it?
30-inch. With the 6-inch, you'd have a 24-inch.
Yeah, 24-inch power stroke.
Sorry, I can't add. So it's all about how long the arrow is being pushed by the string. You know, kind of the less time it's being pushed, the more forgiving the bow should be, and the longer it's on there, the shorter the brace height, the quicker it's going to be.
We kind of run into that same problem today.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mike asks, can or should I put a long stabilizer back bar on my hunting bow for 3D? He's got a Halon 32.
You can. I mean, used to, I'd be like, man, if you're shooting a little tiny bow, no way you should do that. But I've seen more and more people doing it.
I have too.
And it works. I mean, it makes it more stable. So I guess no matter what length bow you got, you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
And we see a lot more people, like that guy we shot with today, and they'll shoot not a long stabilizer, but a short stabilizer and a back bar. So there's just all kind of stuff you can do now.
He had something like, looked like, what, maybe a 10-inch on the front and an 8-inch off the back, maybe, or 6. So let's see here. Alex asked, what holding weight do you guys recommend?
I don't even know what my holding weight is.
I don't either.
By the book, you want more, which would be less let off to keep your form right. But, you know, I know even old Levi Morgan had said on some interview a couple years ago, he was only holding like 6 or 7 pounds, and everybody freaked out because they thought he was holding like 15 or something. So it's what I try to do, even on a higher let off bow, is once I get it back and start aiming, I start pulling into the wall. So it may only be 7 pounds or whatever, but I'm loading up, and I feel like as I do that, I mean, I'm not like suddenly snatching or nothing, but I'm slowly loading and aiming, and I feel like I can hold it steadier. But I don't even know what my bow holding weight is, to be honest with you. But
I don't know either.
If you want a lot of let off type deal, you know, you might be in the 6-7 pound mark. Or if you want a spongy, real low let off, like an older bow, I've seen them, you know, around 15, 18 pounds. But it's preference more than anything.
Yeah, it is. Manny asks, what is typical poundage for an 8-year-old boy?
What do you think, 20 pounds?
8? I don't even know if it'd be that high. It really just depends on how much how much he can pull. I mean, you know, he may be right in at 20. He could be a little less at, like, let's say 15. But starting out, I would probably want to put him, you know, right around that 10 to 15 pound mark just starting out. The only thing about that is you're going to have, his arrows are not going to want to stick in the target, and
because when you get that low, you really need like a piece of styrofoam, because we've seen kids get frustrated because their arrows are bouncing off the target, and I hate to see that. So usually if we at the shop, I'll switch to another target and try to get something that'll stick in, because you can tell they don't like that bounce off. But yeah, 15, 20 pounds, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, that'd be a good starting weight. Let's see here. Don asked, should I shoot with my glasses on? Well, I do. I don't wear my glasses all the time, but I do shoot with my glasses on.
Here's my theory about the glasses. Anytime TJ shoots with his glasses on, I start mysteriously getting nocks broke and arrows cracked.
Which y'all will see in the video from this past Sunday. Jeremy got a knot busted, but it was not by me. I didn't even get nowhere near him today, but a couple times.
My man straight up split 2 or 3 inches up. All right. But yeah, the guy that shot with us, we met this morning, it's funny because he would have been with me and you were like lower 10, near the 12, whatever.
Yeah.
We heard a slap and it knocked him down, I think a 5 or 8 or something.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, if you have to, you know, if you wear your glasses, you know, every day, or like me, just when I shoot or hunt or whatnot, then yeah, because you need to get with your glasses, it's going to be a totally different feel. You may change your anchor point just a smidgen, and so I'd go ahead and wear them. I mean, like I said, I don't wear mine every day, but when I shoot, I do. Probably need to start wearing them every day, but that's on a different subject. But so yeah, I would. Let's see here. Philip asked, if I move my peep up, which way will it move my arrow on the target? Trying to get longer yardage on my HHA sight.
Yeah, it'll move it up. You just got to make sure when you do that you find and remember that different anchor point. You know what I mean? Because I know some people, when we move their peep up, they'll go from like anchoring on their ear to their jaw or something like that, and then they'll forget and get all discombobulated. But yeah, that'll work.
All right. Bill says, I keep letting my true ball release go while aiming. Any advice on how to grip it better? I've had to replace my sight because I cracked it. It's hard to tell because we don't know exactly which release it is or how you're actually holding it. It sounds like it could either be too big for your hand, or it could be a tad small, and if you're gripping it with like the fingertips when you're drawing back and aiming. I mean, it's
the only thing I know. I've seen some people get like that sandpaper
grip tape.
Yeah, grip tape stuff. And even when I've shot a handheld and it's the middle of the summer and my hand's all sweaty, I've never let one go, but I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, man, I better make sure. That's why I just end up going back to a wrist strap.
Yeah.
Because that's something I have worried about before. But
yeah. And we've seen it done at the shop many a time. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Larry asked, what steps do you take when shooting in the rain?
It always sucks to shoot in the rain.
It does.
Like with our 3D bows, we've got lights on our sight that we have to cover up, and I've got this thing I ordered from Lancaster called a bowbrella, and it's shaped where you can just sit it and it'll cover the whole bow, and it's pretty easy to put on and off. If it's going to really downpour, I'll get that out. Still in the 3D talk, you know, we might have an umbrella or two with us. Anything electronic like rangefinders and all, we trying to get in a pocket or something to keep it protected.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, and then after the fact, you know, wiping your bow down once you get back to the house or shop. But in the hunting world, you know, you're probably going in, well, in 3D too, you're probably going to wear like a raincoat of some sort. If it's big and puffy, sometimes I'll wear an arm guard to keep that sleeve pushed in.
Yeah. It's, you know, you definitely, it's one of them you want to put a little wax on your string to help repel the water out of it, because I know when I've got rained on and I've shot, it actually threw my sight off. And there, you know, the water, which I mean, my strings had wax in them, but
I know some of the pros have said, you know, they will on purpose go outside and shoot in the rain some just to know that if they're at a tournament and it starts raining, what's going to happen. You know, if you're shooting a lens, and I've had this happen before. One time it was raining so hard, there was so much water on the lens I couldn't see, so I ended up taking the lens out.
mm-hmm.
You know, how's your bow going to shoot different that way? Or can you possibly put a cover over it and keep it dry enough to shoot? I mean, there's so many variables.
It is.
You know, at what yardage is the rain going to affect the arrow, and what kind of fletchings are you using? Like, we like to shoot feathers, but you got to treat them for water, all this stuff.
Yeah, that's why normally in the 3D side, if it's raining, we just don't go, because most of the time it just ain't worth all the trouble to go get wet and shoot in the rain and everything else.
Yep.
Let's see. Terry asked, what colored pen do you guys shoot? I like a green myself.
I'm about there with you. On my 3D bow, I like it because I got that Super 7 light, and it'll do like 7 different colors, so I can do like a blue or a purple or something wild. But just on the average sight, usually green's my go-to.
Yeah, I see green the best, and then red would be my second choice. The amber or the yellow color, it blends in with target, so I try to stay away from it as much as possible. But green by far on most everything I shoot. Larry asked, can I use my hat as an anchor point?
Kinda. When I used to wear hats a lot, I mean, I think my bill of my hat would touch the string, but I mean, it's going to be real sensitive to if you got it on the exact same way. But you know, the time I had a tied on, not a Bomar nose button, but I'd put some serving on the string for a nose button, hit my normal anchor point, deep sight, and then I just knew that hat would touch, and it worked out for me. But that hat can move so much, or, you know, you get a haircut or your hair's getting longer, it can change it. So it can, but I wouldn't really depend on it a whole lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wear a hat all the time, and I mean, mine, I don't never use it as a reference point or anchor point, just because, you know, you walking through the, even deer hunting, you walking through the woods, you pull up your rangefinder, it might tip your hat up, or pull up some binoculars to look, you know, you can move your hat, and it just take it off to, you know, swat at a mosquito or something like that. It's just too many different variables, unless you know for sure you're putting it in the exact same spot every single time.
Yep.
And then let's see here, we got Mike asked, what feet per second change am I looking at if I go from 100 grain to 125 grain?
From my research, I have found that, big bump, roughly it takes about 2 grains to equal 1 feet per second, so you'd be somewhere around 12, 13 feet per second, just off my testing. So I'd say 12, but it's somewhere between 2 and 3 grains, you know, equals 1 feet per second.
Yeah.
That I had tested all that a long time ago, and I think I was at one of them last bow reviews I did. I got to add up numbers between the arrow weights, and it was still the same. Come up to be the same thing.
I mean, at 20 yards, you're not on. If you're shooting, you're not going to see a difference at 20.
No.
It'll be once you start hitting your 30 yard and out, you'll be able to tell, you know, that air is dropping a little bit more. So, you know, but 20 and in, you'd never even know the difference. And that is all the questions I got.
All the questions. If y'all have any questions, just put them in the comments. We try to look at them before we podcast or whatever and get to everybody. And if we hadn't got to you, you can also email us at archeryshack@gmail.com.
Or me, TJ@archeryshack.com.
And we'll be happy to talk about whatever y'all want.
Yep.
But we got a Total Archery Challenge coming up. And I think our plan is going to be that Thursday night. We normally go live. We'll be up there in Tennessee, so we'll probably go live up there.
Yeah.
And then kind of like this, record a podcast on the way home. Hopefully this turns out okay. What are you doing, car?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, when we go live, it'll be we can go over our setup and show everybody kind of our setup.
Yeah.
What we run in and kind of what, you know, if you've never shot one, we'll try to do a little bit of what you need to bring with you kind of deal while we're sitting there.
And then hopefully we'll do a good video of shooting and all that. We're going to shoot the prime course, which is the longer yardage, but not quite as much mountain climbing as the, well, what do they call it? It's not the Sitka course.
It's not the,
I don't think.
no, it's still the Sitka.
It is, okay.
Yeah, they changed. I think they changed. I think Sitka and Prime stayed the same, but when we went, it was the muddy course and the locals course. They've changed them now, I think.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yep.
And other than that, we might do a video or two of getting ready, our bows ready for that. And the San Lita archery people that we did that review on, I guess it was it last year? I guess it was last year.
Yeah.
They've come out with a pro model, some kind of Amazon bow they're sending us to look at, play with. So there'll be a video on it in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I still got to do the Nexus 4, Nexus 6 videos the next couple of weeks. And it seems like the Black Eagle Era videos have been doing pretty good. So I think we're done with the standard sizes on them. I'll start stepping it up and down to bigger and smaller sizes. And that's what's coming up, I reckon. I don't know when our next local shoot is.
I don't know either.
I think, like you said, I think our Tab, the club we normally go to, I think theirs the same weekend as the Total Archery Challenge, so I don't guess we'll be hitting that one. And then it seems like it's winding down.
I know.
That sounds stupid to say because it's only springtime, but
yeah,
with only really 2 clubs up around us, they just kind of, around here it starts getting hot definitely by May, and everybody kind of 3D wise gets lazy, and then
yeah,
hunting season starts getting close. So, but y'all let us know what we can, if we can answer anything or do anything for you.
yep.
Hopefully the sound for this video is not too awful, coming from this little camera and being hooked to the car. But we'll see y'all soon.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, and y'all be safe out there.
See y'all.